Morning, retail traders. This is Washboardjim with a sneaky snake trading strategy where I talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. So I was trading the SPY this morning, and then I got to looking at this chart on the SPX. I didn't get in this one because I was trading the SPY, and I did a paper trade on that last pullback on the SPY. But I wanted to point out this pattern here, and if you come across it, you know kind of where to get out of the trade at, exit idea. Maybe you'll know when to even get into the trade. So this red and green line represent the orb, ORB. Now I'm just started using this thing a couple weeks ago, and had a friend of mine in the chat named Funky. He let me have it. So I've been kind of using it just to see how it works. And I'm going to learn more about it, and I'll give a video on it when I really start to get familiar with it. But I noticed here on the 1 minute, we had what you call 3 black crows. Now, I'm a master of the 3 black crows, and I always say, watch that candle that comes after that crow, and keep a good eye on it. So I'm sitting here looking at it, and we broke out of the pattern. We broke out of that hammer. You got 3 black crows, then you got the hammer. The hammer is a reversal candlestick that you could see some upside to it. So we did break out a little bit, and as we broke out of it, we started to create what I would call a megaphone pattern, expansion pattern. You can Google that up, megaphone expansion bullish pattern, and you can see it on the charts. So we let out with 3 white soldiers. That's 3 candles on the 1 minute that are green. And we created the top bar of that there megaphone. And this is when I called out the megaphone as we started to pull back. And then we had what's called tweezer bottom down here, which is a good sign of a reversal. And it let out again with some soldiers all the way up to a 1, 2, 3. So the exit idea would have been this triple top, get out of it right there, or wait for a double top, which hit the top of that orb. And that's where that resistance is. So you know to get out of that trade at a double top. So once you start reading charts and start reading the candles, you can just kind of predict what might happen into the future. So we had 3 black crows with a hammer, breakout, and then it pulled back and started to create, and had 3 soldiers and started to create. And then we had a pullback, started to create a megaphone. Then we had a tweezer bottom, which means the 2 bodies of these candles line up together with a hammer. And then she went ahead and broke on out. So I would have took the trade right there, which I called it out on the SPY. And I'll show you that trade here in a second. And then you run it up to a double top and exit the idea. Now today's a 4-day trading week, and we've had some red days. So I figured today we're going to kind of have a green day into Easter, because they got to buy them Easter eggs for them children. Thank God. Amen to that. So that would be your exit idea. This here would be a resistance line. And we see we bounced off the 21 EMA here with a spinning top. And boom, back to a triple top now for an exit idea if you're doing a fast scalp. And then SPY, I called this trade out just a second ago. We hit the top of my channel, my support channel that I charted up this morning. And we had a double bottom down here. So I said triple bottom if you want to count that wick on the top of that support channel. And I already called this trade out twice and got out of it. So on the 3rd pullback, which would be a triple bottom off that support channel, you could call that trade out. And then she ran on up and she hit the top. I said, no, I just made a paper trade out of that, and that was like almost a 60 cent call right there. 60 cents per contract by the time it ran up to the top. And that let out with some soldiers. You have your 3 white soldiers there, so we could have us a little bullish day, but it's a short week, so you always want to be on your toes. And this is something to think about, a short week. You know, I've always seen good short weeks where that last day, especially if we've had some red days, they just want to forget about the past and try to make their trade last today. So that was a triple bottom. Let out, run it up to the top of that orb and get out of the trade. And then it ran up more. I called an exit before we went to the top. So that was a SPY. And let's see something else here on the SPY before I call this a day. See, this also had a megaphone pattern. You can see where that resistance is, but it, I just called the triple bottom. It wasn't a full megaphone yet, but it is now. So you want to draw that in there. You want to draw that in there, and that'll get you your resistance lines that you need for the day. If you can get the line going, son of a bitch. Amen to that. Now we're closing with 3 black crows right here. This is a wide mouth megaphone right now. There we go. Okay, well, that's it. This is a sneaky snake trading strategy where I talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. Let's do a recap on that SPX. So I think what I'm trying to say here is every chart tells a story, and if you can start reading a story, you'll be able to finish the chapter and know maybe the next move that's coming up or when to get into a good trade. 3 black crows with a hammer into an expansion pattern. Then you even have a head and shoulders right here as that thing pulled back. And then it let out with 3 white soldiers. And then the exit idea was a double top. And you're using this trend line as an exit idea on that megaphone. Everybody have a great day. We'll catch you later.